Welcome back once again to Jenny's World, keeping it fresh, keeping it real and keeping it middle-aged. Now don't forget to follow me on Instagram and Twitter, and also subscribe to my YouTube channel, Jenny's World. Details down below in the description box. Now I'm going to go through for part 2. Really sorry for keeping you all waiting, but let's just speed up and get on with the second part of Love Island. What happened in the week? We saw the two couples go and everybody else were thinking, I'm so glad I'm still here, makes me feel more grateful, blah, 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 blah. Now, Demi and Luke M. Now, they look great together. Sounds as though they're going to try and make it work. Let's hope so. Now, Luke T and Luke M having a conversation. Luke T thinks he should just claim the bed and kick Natalia out. I agree. But Luke M is too much of the nice guy and goes back to the sofa upstairs. Now, the next day, we all know what happens. Shauna gets a text. In comes Jamie. She goes on a date and they look really well together. And you can tell that he generally looks like he likes her. Great. We're all thinking, let's hope that happens. Next up is Demi on the date with Jamie. Now, Luke M is slightly worried. Does he have cause to be? I really hope not. Demi and Jamie get on great. Seem to have a fantastic time. And when Demi comes back, she does say, I'm going to keep my options open. I didn't do it with Naz, but I'm going to keep my options open. Talk to Jamie, get to know him, but carry on talking to Luke M. That just seems to be mixed signals, and I don't think it's going to go down so well. Anyway, we move it forward, and we carry on with what's happening next. And I'm going to fast forward because I can't remember. It's been so long. But ultimately, we see that Natalia trying to worm her way back into Luke M. I feel as though she's slightly worried, feels herself at risk, so trying to do what she can. And we then see Demi kind of like odds. Now, Shanice and Luke T are being really solid and there for Luke M. and tell him to keep strong and that he's not in the wrong and that he shouldn't be seen as a third wheel. Because Demi is sending out some stupid mixed signals. She keeps telling him that she likes him, but she wants to get to know Jamie. And then lo and behold, she kisses him. And he's like, what the hell is going on? Shanice is not happy. We all know the Shanice face with the what? But I think she's great. I think everything she does, she's kind of like turning into a bit of the mother hen, protective of everybody that's going on and being treated badly. But again, I think it just shows just how well her and Luke T get on. And equally, how well Luke M and Luke T get on. Clearly best mates. Don't know if they were before they come to the villa, but they're definitely not going to be after. Because they hang around as though they're really brothers. Which is great to see. So there's a bit of pity going on for Luke M. I feel sorry for him. People feel sorry for him. But I just feel as though he will come out in the end and he will be triumphant. That's what we've got to hope for. And we know that's what happens. Let me skip forward. I'm going to go on to this Shauna stupid nonsense. Telling Mike, I think I might have feelings for Luke M. How ridiculous is that? And when he asks her, what? And she recounts just little things when Jess was with him, then when Natalia was with him. Oh, it's just all nonsense. It's what are you going on? This is so much of a fix, a sell-up. Just what the heck are the producers trying to pull on here? Now, what surprises me is that she generally is trying to sound as though she said in a dream. She talks to Finn and Paige about it. And Paige is like shocked, and then she's encouraging her. I'm like, what the hell are you doing? This isn't what we want to see. It isn't what we want to hear. And then Shauna goes and takes Demi off for a chat, and she tells her. Now, Demi's kind of like looking like, oh my gosh, so surprised. Didn't know that, hadn't seen it. And then Shauna says, I know, it's really awkward, but you do what you got to do. We both do what we've got to do, and made the best girl win, in a sense, is what she's talking about. Demi then goes over and tells Shanice. Again, the face comes on. I love that face, that expression. She's like, what? She's never said anything before. And I agree. In the whole 3.5 weeks, she was completely into Callum. If she wasn't, why was she so upset when she was talking to Molly about how disrespected she felt that Callum had treated her, how he'd lied to her and used her? Never once did she say, well, actually, I don't really care because I like Luke M anyway. It just shows how fake it is. And I don't know, is this what normally happens on Love Island? Are the producers really try to stir things up and bring it into the mix? But then part of me thinks, well, Shauna's single now, so she's genuinely at risk of being dumped from the island. And Demi and Luke M, they've not really been together that long. They're technically not together because she's still looking out for Jamie. So are they trying to think that if we keep Luke M and Shauna as a couple, that the general public on the love it, like it, and vote them the winners? I don't know, because I just don't see Luke M as being that stupid. And let's pause, let's think, and let's recap. Demi, after she hears and speaks to Shanice, she's now desperately worried because she's now thinking, actually, I really do like him, Luke M. I do have strong feelings for him, and now I've got competition. And she's now feeling the pressure. Part of me is slightly smug about that and thinks, well, you should do. You could have had Luke M straight away, but you wanted to play the game and show interest in Jamie. I kind of feel as though you get what you deserve, but you know, I can see why. But I generally think you don't really have anything to worry about because it's never going to happen with Shauna and Luke M. And I'm going to fast forward to that moment when Shauna takes Luke M for a chat. I really want to know what the heck is going on in his head when he's thinking, why is she talking to me? Anyway, as Shauna talks about it, he's like, what? And he's genuinely confused. And I'm just like, so it's not just me. Luke M feels the same. And he goes, well, when did that happen? Was it just today, in the last day? And she goes, no, I've always felt this way. And he's like, what? And then she again recants this stupid tale of when he was with one girl, got dumped, and she was really pleased, and somebody else came along. She was upset when he came back from Casa Amora. She was upset. And I'm like thinking, this just sounds stupid. And I'm thinking, Shauna, in your head, you must be thinking, what a mug I was to agree to the producers set me up like this. Because when I'm looking at them, I'm like thinking, you're just too old for him. I'm maybe being a bit mean. And as I said, I like Shauna. I think she's great. But her and Luke M, not in this world. So as you can imagine, she goes off and they're all happy-dovey. And Luke is just like, oh my gosh, what the hell? I'm really sorry about that. My camera just fell off. So I didn't want to subject you to another intro. So I will just carry on as though nothing had happened. So Luke M, completely bamboozled by the Shauna situation. But on the plus side, he's in a bit of a love triangle. You've got Shauna fighting over him. Demi now wants him. Oh my God, he's never been in a better place. But again, what the hell are the producers playing with? Trying to get this on is just crazy madness. But let's just pause this love triangle that shouldn't exist and let me recap on other things. Now, I mentioned how when Shauna took Demi for a chat, but I forgot the most important bit. Did you see when Demi fell and then she fell flat on her back? I was absolutely peeing myself with laughter. I think it was the best bit of the day. But Debbie took it so well. If it was me, I would have been cursing. But it just looked really, really funny. But the thing which got me in between the laughing is the boys are all laughing and looking at her, but nobody rushed to pick her up straight away. There was a massive gap before they went over to her. And I'm not sure what Mike was going on because he was the one, yeah, and he was a gallant person, went together. But again, is there some weird kind of vibe with the boys and Demi? But I just had to frame that piece about her falling flat on her back because that for me still the show. And I did actually send a tweet about that. Anyway, let's kind of like back up. We had the headliners. I kind of like just felt as though the producers are panicking. They're really worried at who are the strong contestants to win because you think about it. Shanice and Luke T looking really strong. We then had Paige and Finn looking great. And then Mike and Priscilla equally looking great. For me, they're kind of like the three contenders. And I think after that, I would then say Molly and Callum. But when you look at the headliners that came out, who really got burned by them? It was Mike and Priscilla. It was Luke T and Shanice. And it was Finn and Paige. Those were the ones where the relationship went through a bit of a frosty bit of reception. And Shanice, she just looked absolutely appalled. And you knew that Luke was going to get it with both barrels. But everybody else seemed to get off kind of like lightly. I mean, even Callum, he was barely scathed. But it really just shows for me that there is some playing going on there. There is some kind of like behind the scenes trying to really dictate how it all plays out. And if you think about the Shauna and the Luke M, that just kind of like helps make it more real that we're all being played for suckers, that ultimately the producers are trying to fix things so that the favorite people remain in there, are on that kind of like have the opportunity to win the competition. I was really saying I hope it doesn't happen, but let's just kind of like touch on a bit. Let's just start with Finn and Paige. Now, for me, I thought Finn's time at Casa Amora, he was being genuinely honest. Yes, he liked the girls, but he made it clear from day one that he was not interested. He had his girl back at the villa, and that was it. He ruled himself out. But obviously, Paige is looking at the headlines and being a bit convinced by them. So they have a little argy-bargy, but I think eventually Finn being genuine about it wins her over. And while she's not 100%, I think she's literally like 99%. And I was really pleased with that, that the real them really shone through and the honesty that they have between each other came out. You then had the Shanice and the Luke T. Now, this was a bit harder because obviously what they do together behind closed doors, Shanice felt would stay with them. But then part of me thinks, well, Luke's kind of like a boy, and the boys all chat as we know they do, which obviously Shanice isn't party to. But we kind of like can guess what was going on. And for him, he actually said it. He didn't think anything wrong about doing and saying that to the boys. He was just being a lad and he was truly sorry. But I like Shanice. She completely held her ground, made it clear she was not happy, and if it happened again, that would be severe consequences. And Luke took it on the chin. He was really remorseful, really apologised, and made it clear it wouldn't happen again. And Shanice, I just love her. She is just great. And I think for me, that really shows why they make such a good couple. Is that they can have things like this happen, but they just talk about it immediately. There's no kind of like waiting for days to get it out. They address it, tackle it head on, and move on. And for me, again, they're one of my top couples in them, along with Paige and Finn. I really want them, one of them, to win because I think they're amazing together. We then see Mike and Priscilla. Now, I kind of like feel as though they look fantastic. They look a better match than Leanne and Mike. And the way they are together seems a bit more natural. They both naturally flirt. And I think that for this, Priscilla was a bit wary because obviously she heard what had happened with Mike and Leanne. But I think that she gave him the benefit of the doubt and said to Mike, it's up to you to prove me wrong. And I think Mike will do that. But again, I think they look amazing. I did send a tweet out during the week say how great they look because they do. Again, another strong contender. But again, this all kind of like leads into what's going on with producers, just how much of this is real action and what's been played behind the scenes. So we move on. I think those are the kind of like key things that had happened. Obviously, Jamie chose Natalia, so she's got another opportunity in the villa. But from my point of view, I kind of like think that Jamie came in and for the girls it was great, but I think I wasn't quite sure why he took the approach of taking Callum to the side and trying to tell him off. It's like, you've just come here. That's really kind of like strange. And again, to me, it just lends that theory to it all being set up, it all being part of the producer's kind of like ploy. Because who else would just come into the villa and go and tell somebody who's been there for 4 weeks what an idiot you were and how dare you disrespect Shauna? It's just crazy. So him and Natalia being together, for me, the next time there's a vote and somebody gets to go, they will both go. Because from honestly speaking, I don't think anybody likes Natalia. I'm not sure about on the island, but out in the public, we do not like her. She is not real. She's just there to be there and get through. But hopefully when it comes to the vote, we will get our opportunity to vote her out. I might remember to try and add that to one of my tweets as well. Vote Natalia out. Anyway, so I'm going to fast forward a bit. We kind of like have these couples now who are really cemented. Even Jess and Ched are getting on really well. They went on a date. I had the penguins around them. They're talking about meeting each other's families and things like that. So it looks like they're a genuine couple. And I really hope so. They look good together. They sound like they're having a great time. So let's just hope that carries on as it is. Molly and Callum continue to be getting on well together. Would it last? Who knows? Callum had a bit of a headliner, but Molly wasn't that disturbed. And when he spoke to her, you can tell he was genuine. He has no eyes for anybody else. and I think that helped. And again, she's back with him, and they look great. So we kind of like move on with those couples in place. I'm gonna put my favourites out there, and that's Shanice and Luke T, Mike and Priscilla, and Finn and Paige. All great, all natural, all just sinking in together. And especially now we're in that position where Finn and Paige are like that boyfriend and girlfriend, and it kind of moves us on forward. So we have Shauna, who's kind of like moping around. She's kind of like waiting to see what happens with her and Luke M. But I can tell you nothing. There's nothing going to happen there. And what I found really funny was when Demi was talking to Luke M, she's kind of like giving her the evil eye, and I'm like, you're really in no position to do it, and it just makes you look stupid. So Shauna, come on, get over it. I know you kind of like, it must be an act on this, but yeah, you're playing a game, so we'll see how this game plays out, and we did. So we kind of like come through to that other recoupling, and the couples we knew would be together went together. It was great. I loved all of their speeches. Luke T's was great. Finn's was great. It was amazing, and you can kind of like see why all of those couples are where they are. It came down to Luke M to make his choice with Demi and Shauna. I genuinely felt sorry for Luke at this point, because no matter who he chose, nobody would be happy. But I don't think there was any doubt as to who he was going to choose. So when he chose Demi, she was relieved, but I was kind of like thinking, that's just common sense. You look natural together. You go well together. And obviously Paige was gutted. Her and Shanice have been really close. Her and Shauna, have been really close, great friends. So I can understand why they're both upset. But I like the way Shauna composed herself. She was kind of like, part of me felt she'd be really upset, really teary, but she wasn't. She kind of like took it on the chin. And part of me kind of like feels it's as though she knew that the storyline she was given was pants, and that she had to go. And as upsetting as it was to see her go, because she was a real part of that villa, I felt as though she made that villa how it was with all of the different dynamics. She handled it really well, and she exited with grace. I felt sorry for Paige because they were clearly close and she was generally upset, and Paige doing his best to reassure her. But as you know, things happen and time moves on, and they all forget. And the next day we all moved on as well. And I feel as though it was kind of like a nice break. We saw Luke M and Demi go on their date, and they have a fantastic time riding that tandem together and just talking. Again, another genuine couple. I think it's great that Luke M has finally found his girl. Hopefully, things carry on like that and it stays like that. A great couple. I have great hopes for them. They just look amazing. So let's move on to the Valentine's Day challenge. So much fun. So many people falling. Mike getting the wine in his face, then falling on his back. Shanice and Luke Luke T looking like they're going to make it, and then it all goes wrong by the teddy bears. But I think the most entertaining of all was Finn and Paige. They were arguing a bit like an old married couple, which is great to see. And then when it came to that water, slime, sludge, whatever it was, I mean, Finn, how many times can you fall over? Not once, not twice, but I swear it was 3 times. It was hilarious. I thought that was a great break in the show, and it just really kind of like, I think, mellowed the moment. Gave everybody, definitely me, entertained me for those 5 minutes or so. But I want to move on to what I think was the best moment of the of Friday night show. Luke T saying how he's going to ask Shanice to be his girlfriend. Now, as I said, they're one of my favourite couples. Look great together. They're just amazing. And it was so nice to see all the boys getting together, wanting to be there for him. And he's saying, I want to do a Disney theme. She loves Disney. I want you all the couples to help me out. I'm all making crowns and everything. And when it came to that moment, I mean, it was just amazing. I just think for me, I said it before, I wondered, Luke T and Luke M, they must have been pals before, because they just are so close, almost like brothers. And I think just the love going on between them is amazing. And Luke M mustering up to be the one that chaperones Shanice around. But what I did find amazing was when they're all getting dressed and they came out, and Shanice going, so what's going on? What's going on, with a glass in her hand. And then as Luke M came over with the cushion and the crown on top, she's like, oh my God, what's going on? That's all she said. And when they went into what the quest was about, she was just absolutely flabbergasted. But it was amazing. It was so great. And as she went from couple to couple, getting it all right, and then being escorted down with all of the couples behind them to Luke, and when he asked her, I just thought it was amazing. She was crying, as she always does with Luke T. And it was just great. And the thing that he said, which I felt melted my heart a bit, was the fact that his mum thinks she's great makes it even the more better, sweeter. As I said, I think they're going to be a fantastic couple. Of course, she said yes. What else can you do? But I think it was a great way to end not just Friday's night show, but for the whole week. It really cemented those two, and they are definitely going to last the distance. I personally feel they're going to last it outside of it. If they don't win, then as long as Paige and Finn win, I'll be happy. But one of those two couples have got to get it. And I just feel as though that night for those two was magical, a great way to end. And I'm going to end it right here. You've had me going on now in 3 different takes with mistakes in them, all of them. So I hope you bear with me with this. And thank you for watching it. Don't forget, keeping it fresh, keeping it real, and definitely keeping it middle-aged. Thank you.